So, I have been keeping a secret from all of you. And not because I don't like to share, but only because I feel that I don't want to share until things are concrete and set in stone. And now they are, because this thing has been taking over my life in a very positive way, and it's going to take over my life more and more as the year goes past, and is not games related. So, without further ado, let's get to it. How you doing, everybody? I hope you're doing well, and thanks for joining me again. Now, this one is going to be completely unscripted, and mainly because I want to have more of a conversation. I used to do a lot of these videos way back in the day where it was just me pouring out my mind to all of you in the hopes that it connects with you. And in this one, it's kind of like something that is a milestone for me, and slightly nervous, but also incredibly excited about it. And sometimes life throws these opportunities at you that you kind of have to grasp and hold. And even though I'm doing so much between Proxima, the game studio, YouTube, being a dad, and directing, animation directing for studios, I had to make time to make this thing happen, because after 20 plus years, one of the things that I've been doing is basically putting all this knowledge that I have in my mind in different studios around the world, and I have also been sharing my knowledge here on YouTube as a video in video form. But one of the things that kept coming back to my mind, and others have suggested, is that, Harvey, are you writing any of this down? Are you making sure that this stays in paper form book so we can actually be good for the future? And in all honesty, I haven't. To me, this idea of talking to you guys week in, week out, and just whatever is going on at the moment, I will say it, I will mention it, I will teach it. It's really organic, and I love it. I love it with a passion, and I think that having that direct feedback from all of you whenever I do something, either good or bad, makes the channel better as a result. Now, I have never written a book, and for the longest time, I did thought about the idea of what it would be like to write a book. And thankfully, as of January this year, I actually signed my very first publishing deal to write a book about something incredibly exciting that I won't be able to say in this video, and I will say over the next few months. But I'm really excited because it's going to be a much more physical way and direct way for me to kind of like talk with everybody that wants to be a games developer, an animator, wants to know the intricacies of the industry, and much, much more. Plus, anybody that has been here with me in the channel for the last few years knows that my background has been challenging, to say the least, from not being raised with parents and being a foster kid, and going through a lot of difficulties, not having family around and all these other things. I genuinely believe that if I can make it in this industry, games development, and be successful, I genuinely believe that anybody can do it. And I don't think there's a better way for you to communicate with an audience that is interested in knowing something new than having a book. This is why I make the videos here in this channel about top 5 books and read these books. They are really good. Because YouTube is amazing at delivering information, so is TikTok, is great, but there's something about reading books that the information kind of stays with you for a little longer, and you just ingest it in a much softer, smoother, slower way that stays with you. At least it happens to me. And to me, having read all these books from so many amazing people that taught me so much, having the opportunity now of writing a book that basically, hopefully, fingers crossed, actually does the same thing for anybody out there looking for help, it basically means a lot to me. And I kind of hope that you guys are there for the journey. Now, this is not going to be something that is going to happen overnight, unfortunately. And this is why I'm telling you now, because we're going to go through a journey, and it's going to be most likely 2025, the whole of 2025, maybe beginning of 2026 that you're going to see the book, maybe. But one thing is 100% real. Having to sit down or write down my thoughts as they come along and distill them in a way that actually makes sense, and resume them and make sure that you don't put too much or too little, and that dance is brand new to me. And one thing that I keep going on here in the channel is about new achievements, new challenges, making sure that you're off balance, making sure that you're always looking at something new that basically challenges you and also your perspective of the world. And this is what's happening with writing. All my years of being an artist, it's been all about drawing first and then animating second. So visually telling a story, visually kind of like expressing myself. But now I have to write something while expressing myself as well. Knowing all the books of the people that I admire, that I've read before, is slightly intimidating. And that's exactly where I want to be. And that's what gets me excited about writing this book, because to me, I feel like I need to write the best possible book of all time. And only by trying to achieve that, hopefully I'll achieve something that this book is fine. And if I achieve that on my very first book, it means that I've been successful and hopefully help some people out there. So, having worked with so many studios, having worked in so many situations, seeing studios close, seeing projects canceled, good teams, bad teams, so many things that I've experienced throughout my 20 plus years in the industry. Next year, when the book releases, I'm going to put it all out there so you guys can ingest it, enjoy it, and hopefully take a lot of this knowledge that I have within me with all of you. And I'm kind of hoping that it becomes a little bit of a guide for anybody out there that wants to become a game developer. And also, one of the questions that I get quite often is, after so many years in games development, how can you keep it positive? How can you actually be so positive overall and see things in a positive lens when the industry is so bad and all these other things? And there is a method to the madness, to the way how I see things. And this is the things that I'm going to reveal in the book. And also some of the things that I really enjoy and dislike about the industry as well. Having a book and having the time to think about what you want to write means that you have more time to really showcase to people what you really mean. Much more than here on YouTube, that sometimes it's kind of difficult to be controversial. So in book form, you get much more of that chance of being a little bit more edgy and also say things how they should be, so people can actually truly get an idea of what's out there in the games industry. And finally, the games industry right now is going through so many problems right now. Anybody that is a gamer, loves games, you probably have heard how bad things are right now and how many professionals are getting laid off, and also how many people want to get in that probably are feeling right now they will never have a chance because there's studio closures happening left, right, and center. And ultimately, me funding Proxima, the studio, the indie studio that we actually working on, also the state of the industry, the way it is right now, there's so many lessons that I've learned, especially over the last 5 years or so. And I do think that there needs to be something out there, a book out there that basically doesn't really mince words very much about what's going on internally and how can we come out of it. I'm not saying that I have a solution for it, but I am saying that there is a way to actually retrospectively, through my experience, have some answers on what is good to do and what is bad to do, not only based on my experience, but also based off others' experiences, because I will bring people, different people, to the book to guest to write with me. And the reason why is because I want this book to be not just my perspective of the games industry, I want this book to be a much broader perspective. So you understand that it's not just me telling you that these things are true or not, it's other professionals also echoing what I'm saying and also sharing their experiences on how to best navigate this industry as best as possible. So, unfortunately, I cannot tell you very many of the details of the book, but I can tell you that the draft that I sent to actually be reviewed when I actually did my book proposal before I signed my contract was incredibly well reviewed. People really liked it, and they saw that it was an opportunity within the market to basically talk about something that they haven't seen before. And that kind of made me happy because that was my perspective. That's what I thought. I need to bring something that hasn't been said or talked about before, so people have a new perspective perhaps. I don't think there's any point of repeating or echoing what has been said before. Even if I could say it better, if somebody else has said it, then I don't think there is so much that need to actually have that, right? So I think that having something unique, something that actually kind of gives you fresh perspectives on a bunch of different things that I'm going to talk about, it's the way to go. So that's basically me announcing that I'm writing this book. Now I'll be giving you updates of this book throughout this 2025, and I'll also be giving you updates when it's coming out, more towards the end of this year. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you tune in so you know more about this book that is in the making behind the scenes. Before I go, I want to ask you all your help, if you don't mind. Now, I have a Discord. You can join the Discord, but I also have the channel here. So if you don't mind putting in the comments like the subjects and challenges that you have, both as an animator, as a game developer in the industry that you would like me to talk about, right? It can be like either positive or negative, but tell me below in the comments some of the challenges that you find in this industry, because I think that having as much information from all of you when it comes to feedback about the book will help me a ton to basically make sure that I actually write that book super solid. And then who knows, I might include your name in the book as a thank you for your amazing questions and your amazing requests for the book as well. Now, that's all I had for you guys today. Definitely drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what kind of things do you want me to cover in the book. And until next week, as always, stay well, stay safe. Peace.